Good evening, this is Rodney with the Triton Wave Market Outlook for Thursday, May 16th, 2013. And this is brought to you by Triton Wave Consulting, which are the Triton Waves that are early warning market timing indicators that can be used in all time frames in all markets. All right, let's start off by looking at the S&Ps. This market since let me see, going all the way back to where this cursor is on the left-hand side, October 2011, this is basically gone, we talk about like three, like things happen in threes, 1, 2, and this was kind of supposed to peter out about here, which would be back in February, but it's done double that length right here. So, what do you make of that? You can keep on going and keep on going, but what I would rather do is let me just move this out here because I want to show you how spiky this looks. If you scrunch it up like that, it looks spiky. If you look at it like that, it's just basically been straight up since November of last year. So, again, I can't emphasize this enough. The waves are all above zero, but the pattern, which is the most important thing, is that you have this high, and this high. Okay, so the cash is higher on this wave. On this wave, the cash is higher, but this wave is lower. It's actually lower than this wave, and this spike way up here, this is a little tiny wave right here. So is it going to last? I've seen markets like this before. I've read historically about markets like this before, and they can go on for a little bit, and then then they die. Let's look at, as an example, Tesla Motors. I mean, there's really not much. Oh, okay, there it fills in. Okay, so since April 1st, it's gone from 37 to 97. Yes, Tesla cars are great, but are they making that? But are they making that much money? I mean, look at that. So you have to, even though all these waves look fantastic, there is no reason why this cannot come right back to its congested area right in here, which makes it about 56, which makes it about a 40-point drop. And even if we look at the okay, like the 21, there were some nice plays in here for between like 95 and 79 when it moved down. This is a 21-minute cash price. When it moved below zero on T1, right in here, and then moved above zero right here. And now now it's above, and yes, it's moving above, and it may take out these old highs because everything is moving above in concert with the daily. My comment is that markets never go straight up, and this is just an absolute phenomenon of what's going on here. Let's look at like Goldman Sachs. Let's look at the daily of Goldman Sachs first. Okay, so I like Goldman. I like playing Goldman. It's basically eating my lunch. It's got, when it crossed over here, it was fine on the upside. this little chunk was on the downside, but you avoid that because T5 is above 0. And then when this went above 0, it went from 120 to 160. And then when this went below 0, it went down to 140. It hit the target of this purple line here, right there. And then it bounced. Now, it's still below 0, and it may try to take out this high. And, you know, it may be good for a little bit more up here. Let's look at the, okay, back to the 21 on that. Okay, so the 21 went below 0 here, and it kind of just went sideways. It went sideways to down, and then when it broke above 0 on T1 about 4 days ago, it went from 148 to 157. I think it hit 159, 160 today. But T1 is going back below 0, so it may be neutral, or if it takes T2 and T3 with it, then we're looking at a different story. We're looking at a retracement down to 147. Still, we have to wait until the what the S&Ps are doing. Let me drag this this other graph I have over here. This is a trading neat little website called tradingview.com, and you can just sign up for it, make a list of the stuff that you like, and it's all free. And so this is the yen. You can see the yen is getting absolutely killed down here. Let me see here. Okay, this is the Aussie. This is these are this is daily. The Aussie yen is going. The Australian dollar is going up against the yen, obviously, as the yen goes down. The euro is going down against the dollar, so that means the dollar is going up, and obviously the dollar is going up against the yen. So dollar going down, dollar going down is inflation. Dollar going up is dollar going down is inflation. Dollar going up is deflation. So we have a real conflict of things that are going on. You have the dollar going up, which implies deflation. You've got gold going down, which implies deflation. But you've got the SPYs going up like crazy. You've got Google. Look at the spike on Google. Let me just move that aside, and let's put in Google here. And you know, Google's a great company. There's no question about. Come on, load. We got a thunderstorm going out, tornado watch. So I'm gonna make this as short as I can, because I don't want to lose it and then not be able to get it out. Okay, Google, high mark of 116.38 today. So new all-time high. You know, the waves are all performing, are all telling you where it's going. This one's going up. This is when it crosses here. This came down. When it crosses up, this is going up. And it went all the way up to here, came down for a little piece, and then the waves went back up, and it went back up right in here. So if you look at the 21, again, it just looks spiky. if you look at this on a weekly basis, and all spikes come down. They just look at the spike. Look at the spike that went. Okay, this goes back to 2005 when Google went public. This is the weekly chart, and look at the spike. That it's really similar. It was like six. Let's call it 630. Just make it even. 630 to 915. That's 300 and almost 300 points. This is 460 to 760. That's 300 points. But look what happened after that. And the waves looked. I'm sure they looked all terrific. I don't have a recording of them because the history doesn't go back far enough. But look at what happened after that spike. Boom, and then it retraced 50%, and then boom again. So just be aware that if it does the same thing, it could come all the way down to 600 and not blink an eye. So 600, everybody used to talk when 600, 650 was the line in the sand right here. It's impractical that this is going up like this. All right, let's look at the day. We looked at the daily. Let's look at the 21. This is the 21 minute, and right now it looks fine. It could come down a little bit. It's kind of riding this yellow band up here. So as long as it stays up, as long as it stays up against this yellow band, this is the 89. The yellow band is the 89 exponential moving average. So as far as the daily and the weekly go, if it happens that Google comes down to this yellow line, which is 897, it could take a good bounce off of that. I mean, it could take a bounce. It could come down there like a magnet because it's done it here and here every time there's retracement here, which is not much of a move. It's like a 30-point move, but it may come down to this line and then bounce up again. Okay, so all these things, gold's moving down, the dollar's moving up, they're both deflationary, and the market's moving up, which is like really inflationary. So, tale of two evil things going on here. And which way it breaks, I don't know, but there's so much spike in the market, I don't think it has much left to go. All right, we had a call on Apple on the 20. Oh, this is the wrong chart. Sorry. Wait a minute. It's the 21 minute. No wonder those are looking funny. I want to turn this into a day only. Here we go. Okay. I like this. I like this cluster, right? When the cluster of these two waves came together right here. So that was my target. That and this one right below here. It was like 440. So when Apple broke, okay, here we go. I couldn't see it when it was all stretched out. When T4 broke down on the 21 minute, right in here, this was my sell on Apple at 457, and my target was right in here. And that got hit, and then I figured if we had a little bounce below there and it came back up to this line, it was a good short again. Never happened, it just went straight down. But it did get like 15 points out of it, which is not too bad. All right, so it should, being reasonable, it should bounce up to this area of congestion again into the 440, and then I think we're going to go down and test this. So if you're shorting Apple, wait for that little bounce. You might get lucky and get it. If you get it, take it. Okay, I wanted to take a look before I let you go. I wanted to take a look at the weekly chart of the ES, and I want you to look at this. This line goes straight across. We are clearly busted right above the old all-time highs, going back 2000 and 2008, and now 2013. Absolutely extraordinary to me. It's extraordinary. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I also would not be surprised if it went just a little bit higher right here, just to get some more short covering in there, and then came down to this yellow, or even if you notice what it's done here, came up, went down, came up, went down, boom, and it does it pretty consistently because markets never go up or down in a straight line. Okay, so here's the thing. Picture yourself in a woods and you're hungry and you want some honey out of a beehive, except there's a bear asleep there. So in this case, the bear is the stock market. The bear is asleep, but you're hungry because you want more money, and the honey is money, and you go after it. What are the chances that you're going to get into that hive, steal the honey, and get out of there without getting stung and without waking up the bear? So if you're good at figuring out metaphors, take it for what it's worth, because this does not look appealing to me. You know, there's a bear sleeping in there somewhere, and there's a lot of greedy people who think that this market is going to 1700, 1800, because that's usually the talk when it starts going there. The likelihood of that happening without you getting stung repeatedly, like somebody going after bee honey, or waking up a bear, is very, very unlikely. You may get a little bit of honey, but you're going to get stung, and you're going to wake up. And when the bear wakes up, boom, your 401k is now a 201k. All right, that's all I have. Good luck, and see you at the next update.